Hey there, all my Rotation 411 Astrology subscribers and newcomers. I'm going to be starting a new series today. It's called, well, it doesn't really have a name. It's the birthday series. And I actually got this idea the other day and thought, oh, I should have started it at the beginning of the year because we're going to be going through 365 days, right? And then I thought, no, what it would be more appropriate would have been to have started it on, the spring equinox, the beginning of Aries season, because that is the beginning of the zodiac. So, but again, it was too late for that. So I thought, 411, my birthday, and Rotation 411, we're going to start this 365 days on April 11th, which is today, and I will be doing my best to post for all of you on your birthdays every day of the year. And I'm going to actually just be reading verbatim. Don't worry, I'm still working on the Celebrity Synastry series. I'll be going live soon, and the Libra Sun Aries Moon video. So definitely the big 144 is one of my top priorities. But a lot of times when I'm thinking back just to the fundamentals of the different signs and the different like the power cusp and things like that. I'd gotten that terminology back in high school when I would go to Barnes & Noble and read this book. It was the hardcover book. It was like, I don't know, $50 or something, but it was like my dictionary. And that was when I began to, really be able to guess signs and everything. So a lot of times my mind goes back to this book, and I always think that I have to go back to my little hometown 1,000 miles away, go to the Barnes & Noble library and look that up. But then it occurred to me, oh, Amazon. So the link is below if you want to follow along or if you want to check this book out. A lot of you probably, not a lot of you, but I'm sure a certain percent, I'm feeling more like 5%, but maybe more of you have read this book or seen this book before. And there's another one too that's a little bit different that I'm gonna try to get as well. But I put the link for this one and the relationship version of this one below. Maybe I'll do a series on that sometime as well in the description. So we're gonna start today by going over, I'm just gonna kind of read it because I'm gonna be doing these every day of the year. I'm not going to spend as much time researching them and explaining them. I'm just gonna read it verbatim. So think of it as a visual audiobook. And then also another really cool thing about this book, and we'll see how long this goes with me reading. See if I can find it in here. It goes also by the weeks, I believe, by the, what do they call them, the dicons or the decons? No, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought I just saw it. Oh yes, yes it does, in the front of the book here. It's pretty cool. Like here you can see the Libra Scorpio cusp and Scorpio 1. So it goes, week 1 Scorpio, week 2, week 3, and they're called, I've heard other astrologers refer to it before. It's like a decon or dicon or something like that. If I'm saying it wrong, then, write in the comments below and give me the little, euphemisms or whatever to tell me how to pronounce it. But I love it because it has a name for each cusp. The Libra Scorpio cusp is, well, this is the paperback, so I'll figure that out before we get to the power cusp. Yeah, because it used to have a name for the cusp. I almost bought the hard copy, you guys. Might have to. But I wanted to get this going, because I needed that date. So let's go ahead and get into it. I will read you April 11th, and then let me see when the beginning. Yeah, it has the Aries Taurus cusp. It should say power cusp somewhere. That's the only one I remember, you guys. Yeah, that's a bummer if this print is a little different. Oh yes, Aries 3 starts April 11th. So we will go ahead and read that one. I'll read that one, every time it starts. So if it starts April 11th, I'll read that. On April 19th, I'll read the Aries Taurus cusp one to you. But let's go ahead, a little bit longer intro just to get you started here. And definitely, if you want to see the Celebrity Synastry series, I have a few couples in mind already, and I'm going to do a special Mercury retrograde video about relationships and what happens with my clients and what I observe, and something I found with a celebrity couple. They were getting divorced, and I just found like a really crazy coincidence about Mercury retrograde. So definitely subscribe if you want to hear more about that. Let me just go back to April 11th. I lost it, you guys. Here we go. I feel like this book is different than the original, because in the original book it said the day of the policymakers, and in this one it says the day of vigorous defense. So I might have to order the hard copy, you guys, but let's just get the series going. Oh no, it's April 18th. That's why it's the wrong day. Okay. Yes, okay. April 11th is still the day of the policymakers, and it says, and then there's also some celebrities like in other little notations you guys can see there, so I will definitely read those too after I read the main part, and it's only, I believe it's just 2 pages per sign, so this shouldn't run, yeah, just these 2 pages, but it's packed with a lot. I mean, like I told you guys, I've referenced it for years and years. I'll put a timestamp for you. Okay. The day of the policymakers. So again, I'll be reading verbatim, so it might be a little boring, but visual audiobook. Those born on April 11th do not have the overwhelming need to be a star. Like many of the people born in the Aries 2 period, when they are at the center of action, it is generally due to their usefulness rather than ambition. When they are not what they are most comfortable with is being part of a decision-making team, in which they often play a dominant role. It is ideas which most excite and stimulate April 11th people, not glory or prestige. April 11th people are less concerned with developing a sparkling personality than with honing a message. Unless you have Libra rising, like me, no. All right. Sorry about that. I'm not even going to edit these. I'm just going to go straight through since I'll be doing them daily. So hopefully she doesn't bark too much. She's like, come to bed. All right. Are less concerned with developing a sparkling personality than with honing a message, like we have here. They do not care for the high-blown verbiage that usually hides a rather mediocre or even non-existent idea. Those born on this day like to know what others think straight out without subterfuge. Hold on, it's a heavy book. Okay. They like to know what others think without subterfuge. I'm not found my spot, you guys. I need to get new glasses. I did get a new computer. I was complaining about that in the last video. I did get that. That's been part of why I've been MIA, is I've been swapping them out. All right, you know, clearing off the old one. Anyways, gotta find my spot, you guys. Maybe I'll wear my blue light glasses. Those born on this day like to know what others think straight out without subterfuge. This does not mean that they themselves are incapable of subtlety or make poor diplomats. Actually, as mediators, they can be quite superb, able not only to bring hostile parties together, but also to reconcile widely diverging points of view. Whether in the workplace, at home, or among friends, April 11th people are often called upon when all else has failed and the answer must be saved. And the unsavable must be saved. Given such talents, April 11th people are of course psychologically astute, but also have the knack of finding common ground for agreement. Those born on this day have a profound understanding of ideas and language, as well as the power it carries. Often, however, in their personal lives, they can be baffled and bewildered by what loved ones express, particularly if it is not to their liking. As good as they are in the diplomatic and policy-making areas, They may be, on occasion, surprisingly insensitive to the needs and wants of those closest to them. Frequently, those born on this day take on great responsibilities for the support, nurturing, and education of their families, but nonetheless fall short. Sometimes the energy required to fulfill such commitments has been spent in other areas, and there just isn't enough left. In addition, those born on this day must beware of conflicts with those above them in the family hierarchy. Because of their fine social skills, April 11th people do well in professions which involve working with others, e.g. social work, or planning for others, e.g. administrative positions. Those born on this day are generally convinced that they know what is best for the common good, but must learn to listen carefully to feedback. Deafness to objective evaluation of their work may stand in the way of their success. Even worse is a gradual insulating of themselves from any criticism at all. April 11th people must always try to keep an open mind, and once having made a decision, not be ashamed to change course if events warrant it. Essentially, cultivating flexibility is crucial to those born on this day, maintaining an integrity and effectiveness of action. That was the first page, and that's more of that. This is a little more broken down, so it shouldn't be, quite a bore if you've made it this far, but I'm pretty sure if you made it this far, you are either born on April 11th, like me and myself and my favorite YouTube crime, one of my favorite crime people. Now I can't think of her name, but I usually know it. It's late. I'll think of it. I think it's Linda. No, I'm not sure. All right. Numbers, and it's not crime talk, but it's a crime. It's a crime. I know it. It's late, and I want to get this one done because I'm gonna celebrate my birthday. I work tomorrow, and I'm going out to eat, and then I'm celebrating my birthday. So I won't have time to record this for you guys between now and then. So I wanted to go ahead and get it done tonight. So the second page says the number 2 here at the top, if you can see that, and then it says numbers and planets. Those born on the 11th day of any month are ruled by the number 2. 1 + 1 = 2. Basic arithmetic there, you guys. All right. And by the moon. Those ruled by the number 2 are gentle and imaginative by nature. They are capable... I'm going to lean back here, you guys. My back's bothering me a little. Okay. Hope my mics are both on. Okay, perfect. They are capable of lending wise counsel to projects without demanding the ego rewards of being number 1. As Aries, however, they must beware of the Martian influence of anger. I could agree with that on my part. Okay, gotta watch my anger because it sneaks up real quick. Hot-headedness and overconfidence in their character. Emotional instability may also be indicated by a Moon-Mars connection. And that is interesting because I didn't remember that, and I hadn't looked at this before I started the video. And yeah, Moon-Mars is that kind of maybe explains why. Side note: I've been very drawn to men whose moon is conjunct my Mars, and that is not a great combination, especially when it's the man's moon. Anyway. Thus, the challenge for April 11th people is to be masters of themselves, not of others. Those born on a double numbered day, 11 or 22, may have a special interest in doubles of various kinds, including twins, coincidences, and symmetry. It's very true for me, you guys. Very, very true. Tell me if you are born on April 11th or know someone is, if they do have a particular interest in twins, coincidences, and symmetry, or synchronicities perhaps. All right, tarot. That's the next one is telling us the tarot card, so it's pretty cool. I don't remember this. So the 11th card of the major arcana is Justice. This is very interesting to me. Sorry, you guys, it's my birthday, so I'm gonna have a little more side notes here, but I listen to all the other tarot readers, even though I don't have time to record them right now for you guys. And earlier I was listening to I think it was a very general one for like the whole collective, like whoever's listening now. It wasn't for any particular sign. And she kept saying, your card is justice, your life path, it's justice, justice, justice. And I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, I'm a Libra rising, and that's justice in the tarot. So it's just very bizarre that now we open this book and the tarot card for April 11th is justice. Do you see how everything ties together? Those are those coincidences. Anyways, a serene seated woman holding the scales in one hand and a sword in the other. She reminds us of the order of the universe and that balance and harmony will be maintained in our lives as long as we continue on our path. The positive aspects of this card are integrity, fairness, honesty, and discipline. The negative aspects are low initiative, impersonality, fear of innovation, and grievances. Okay, and now we're going to go on to health, all right? Getting plenty of sleep is very important to people born on April 11th. Check. Okay. As it will help them maintain their composure and calm. Definitely. The anger does flare up more when I haven't slept well and I can hardly drive, because I kind of go into a sleep hypnosis. All right. In addition, frequent rest periods, whether weekends or extended vacations, are a must. Occupances like teaching, which guarantee such time off, may be attractive to those born on this day. Since April 11th is primarily a day of strong mental energy, those born on this day must take care not to neglect their physical side. Regular sex with a loved one is strongly advised. Tell me about it. All right, I've been celibate the majority of the past 2 or 3 years, and I feel like it very much goes against my archetype and my, people are like, you don't need physical relationship. Hello, I'm an Aries. We're the most physical. Yeah, I need a regular partner. I'm monogamous. But anyway, that's a whole other side note. TMI, sorry about that, Aries. But if you're born on April 11th, you probably have somebody that's your regular partner. Moderate exercise is recommended for April 11th people, just enough to keep in shape and invigorate the body. Sorry, side note, I am totally low impact, Pilates, moderate, once a week will keep me physically fit. So it's interesting that they say moderate here. It's like if I go too hard, I'm just gonna wear myself out, or my endorphins will go so high that I'll go up and then crash, right? So tell me if you relate to that, April 11 people, or those with one near and dear to your heart. Eating a well-balanced diet also does wonders for stabilizing them. Thought that was my Virgo moon, but I definitely have to eat well, or I feel very lethargic and mentally cloudy. If weight is not a problem, as many as 3 well-rounded meals a day served at regular hours will be both healthful and enjoyable. So that's their diet suggestion, but I do feel it's tailored to us all individually. Oh, and that was another crazy thing. Okay, I'm just going to make a note about this because it's a crime, and I believe it's Linda. I love her videos, and she was saying on her live the other day that her birthday was Sunday, which is today, which is April 11th, and it was the weirdest thing because as I continued to watch that live, she's saying that she's a vegan, and I'm vegetarian, mostly vegan, for 5.5 years now. And then she has her 144,000, right, we're 411, and then she has her 144,000 with the Lori Vallow thing, which is actually the case that got me into her channel because I'm from near the Idaho area originally, and I have the big 144 series, so anyways, shout out to Linda. I know astrology is a whole nother world in true crime, but there are those coincidences there for the April 11th people, and I believe she always says that too, I don't think it's a coincidence or something like that. And my grandmother, who actually was a Pisces, would always say there are no coincidences, so that is definitely one of my mantras as well. Okay, so anyways, now we go on to advice, and it's just one more small sentence, and then we'll go into these sidebars, and we're doing good. I was thinking it'd be about 25 minutes, so we're doing pretty good here. Have an open mind. Don't take on too many responsibilities. Keep your energy flowing. Use it or lose it. Be more sensitive to the personal needs of those closest to you. Control your temper and beware of family conflicts. And then the meditation for us, our mantra, is if there's any hope for the world, it can only be in small acts of personal kindness. Okay, and so then there's just some famous people here I think I'll list off. Here's the Justice card, if you can see that. I have it here. I could pull it out, but I've had this old calendar forever with the most beautiful pictures of all the zodiac signs, and I finally got the frames to hang them up. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna actually put them back here when I'm doing, you know, the Aries videos and the Taurus videos. So hopefully I'll get that together, but before we get to Taurus season, so you guys can see the beautiful Aries one that I have. But tonight I just wanted to knock this out. So, all right, born on this day is Chief Justice Hughes, whoever he was. Maybe some of you know. If you know, you can write in the comments below who he was, or if you want to research and Google him, you can fill us all in. I remember when I was a teenager and I'd read this book all the time that there were no extraordinary famous people born on April 11th from what I can remember. Well, I mean, I always was into acting, so there was no like major actors like there are other days, but there are some good ones in here. I think Ethel Kennedy was mother of 11. I always find that to be admirable because motherhood has been like a, you know, ambition, not a goal so much, you know, not like the driving force, but you know, something down the road that I wish to achieve. So I always thought Ethel Kennedy was super cool. But okay, I'll just go ahead and list them all off. Charles Evans Hughes, Chief Justice Hughes. Oh, whoever that is, he's Chief Justice though. Supreme Court? All right. Yeah, Supreme Court Justice resigned for presidential bid, returned to court as Chief Justice. Okay, Dean Acheson, Secretary of State, post-World War II policymaker. That's, I guess, why we're the day of the policymakers, is thanks to Dean Acheson. I might be showing my ignorance here, you guys. Mary W. Ovington, civil rights reformer. NAACP, founding member and board chairperson. I've heard that so many times. I don't know if I've ever said NAACP though. Okay. Ethel Kennedy, wife of Robert Kennedy, mother of 11. Hugh Carey, New York congressman and governor. Masura Ibuka, Japanese industrialist, Sony Corporation director. Nicholas Brady, Treasury Secretary. Michael K. Dever, Reagan manager. Ellen Goodman, syndicated Pulitzer Prize winning columnist. Oleg Cassini, fashion designer. Alonzo Jake Geither, football coach. Led Florida A&M to 6 national black college titles, record of 203 to 36 to 4. Dame Avril Poole, Chief Nursing Officer, British Health Department. Sir Raymond Carr, Warden, St. Anthony's College, Oxford. Joseph Burnett Stewart, British Business Executive Chairman. Robert Fleming Holdings, Clive Exton, British playwright, screenwriter. I like that. Louise Lasser, film actress. Joel Grey, comic film actor. Elmer Oaks, U.S. Army General. Manuel Neri, sculptor. Gervais Day Pyre, clarinetist. You know, maybe as this evolves, or maybe next year I'll go through again and I'll find, you know, some more current celebrities with our birthdays. This series will probably definitely evolve as I go along. Because, yeah, this book, I was reading it 15 years ago, not to age myself. It was published originally in 2013, but still I feel like there could be more current day people. And some of you have probably heard of these people, and I've heard of, like, you know, Oxford and all these different things. I think I know of Louise Lasser, and I do feel like I'll definitely be researching Clive Exton because I'm really into screenwriting and things like that. But yeah, so interesting. But if you know who any of these people are, fill me in, because I don't really know who most of them are besides Ethel Kennedy. All right, so it says just overall here, strengths: decisive, diplomatic, sagacious. So if I wasn't using my phone to record, I would Google sagacious right now. Weaknesses: insensitive, resistant, unenthusiastic. I don't know about unenthusiastic. Maybe I could see we're not very enthusiastic, you know, at times where we feel that it's just like conjured enthusiasm. We're not really for that, and we don't like things that are too manufactured, so I'll give you that. But I do think when it comes to things that we're passionate about, April 11th people are very enthusiastic, maybe in a more monotone way. Like, we can be up and down, and then we get enthusiastic, and we're kind of like, I don't know, that's just what I'm thinking for me. So we did make it right at the 25-minute mark, but because it is the beginning of the week for this Aries subgroup, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. And it's weird because it said Aries 2 people on, oh, I don't know. I think it did say that. Maybe it was a typo because it's Aries 3. We start the week of Aries 3, and it's just one page here, so I'll go ahead and read that and wrap it up around 30 minutes. And then in the next day or two, when I have a moment in between celebrations, maybe slightly hungover, I haven't had a drink in like 4 to 6 months, I'll come back and do April 12th and 13th and put those up, and then I'll be off for a few days next week, and I'll get around to the 14th, 15th, etc. So, all right, Aries 3. April 11th through the 18th. Zodiac position approximately 20 to 29 degrees Aries. Central image, the pioneer, which I always love that as the definition of Aries in general, so I'm glad that's our week. All right. Season, early spring, obviously. Element, fire. Quality, cardinal. Ruler, Mars. Symbol, the ram. Mode, intuition. I do find that mode interesting. I'm not quite sure about the modes so much, but I could have told you all the other ones, quality and ruler. But anyway, okay. The Aries 3 period takes the pioneer as its central image, symbolizing further socialization of the child. Oh, and if we'd started at the beginning of Aries season, you know, the very first Aries week is like the infant, or the very firstborn, and then through the whole cycle we go from birth to death, which is like Pisces. So it's kind of unfortunate that we are starting in the middle of Aries season, but you know, it's the 411 channel, rotation 411, so we might as well start on April 11th. Again, repeating myself, back to the topic at hand. Okay, symbolizing the further so let me get a little sip here, you guys. The further socialization of the child. I have a slight accent sometimes, so I have to really say it fast and blend it. Socialization of the child. When I try to say it slow, it doesn't work out. It pictures a personality displaying humanity and taking an active interest in group activities. Along with cutting his or her first adult teeth, the pioneer begins to come to grips with the vast repository of human culture through reading, writing, and the media. The days which compromise Aries 3 show personality unfolding against the backdrop of social issues and activities. Yeah, my back's a little sore, you guys. Okay. In the grand cycle of life, the Aries 3 period occupies the time when a person demonstrates an interest in learning and begins the formal educative process. Adjusting to rules and also breaking them figure strongly in this development. The child now clearly belongs to a group in which it can practice cooperation, leadership, and defensive skills. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied, you guys. The spirit of exploration here is strong, and exploration is strong here, and accompanies the desire of the child to make its mark on its immediate environment and perhaps go beyond it. The Aries 3 period shows more group involvement than is traditional for the sign of Aries. Anticipating the powerful social expression of the upcoming sign of Taurus. That's interesting. The Aries 3 personality, well, I mean, Aries is very independent, you know, anyway. All right. The Aries 3 personality. Aries 3 people often take up with social issues. Unlike other more self-centered Aries personalities, the child and the star, that's week 1 and week 2. The star I know is the week before, because they're always like the most fun to hang out with, but like it's all centered around them. But not like, I'm not gonna go on that tangent. We'll get there next year. All right. Okay, unlike the more self-centered Aries personalities, they see themselves acting in the larger context and are not so concerned with their own personal image. Aries 3s are very interested in the rules which govern social interaction and policies and politics. They enjoy studying the traditions of their particular field, and as a result of this usually go in one of 2 directions, either upholding it by adopting a conservative stance or by opposing it as an iconoclast. The latter individuals, however, generally become more conservative once they have succeeded in implementing their own rules of conduct. As mentioned, the pioneering spirit is strong in the Aries 3 personality. Aries 3s are born leaders who do not hesitate to roll back frontiers and push on beyond established limits, often through the force of their personality rather than ideas. They can inspire others to follow them. However, regardless of how dynamic Aries 3s are, they rarely overlook their fellow human beings or forget their responsibilities towards them. Aries 3s often nurture a high individual understanding of people, which comes to be their most treasured possession. I thought that was Pluto in my second house that made me possess people, but apparently it's being an Aries 3 as well. They display great faith in the power of human thought to transform the world into a better place. One of the main difficulties engendered by Aries 3s is that in their zeal to better conditions around them, they can actually cause suffering, often due to an inability to operate outside anything but the highest ideals. That's funny because my ex-husband used to tell me, you hold people to higher standards than you hold yourself. And then flash forward a few years, I actually think he's wrong. I have such high standards for myself that, that's why he felt like that. But I can't even live up to my own for myself, Okay. Although they demand the best for others, they can lose sight of what it is that others really want. Furthermore, they can find themselves from time to time at the mercy of unscrupulous people who seek to manipulate them, primarily by pretending to understand or believe in their endeavors. I could say that a lot when I was younger and dating, men, they act like they care, about your ambitions, but really, usually they're either trying to distract you from them or they're straight up trying to, control you away from your endeavors. I mean, that's when you're younger. You learn the defensiveness, which I think was actually on our birthday, learning defense tactics. Because we are so open to people. Anyway, so I said I wasn't going to interject my own thoughts too much on this because I don't want to drag it on forever. But anyways, we're almost there, you guys. We just have these bottom 2 little paragraphs. Advice. Tune into what people are really saying. Beware of those who wish to monopolize your time and energy. I'm definitely going through that right now. Anyway, ideals and ideas can be worthy of devotion, but also destructive. Make sure that others want to be helped or led before you offer. Try to keep in touch with the actual state of things. Beware of being carried away by your own enthusiasm. That's really interesting because it said we're not enthusiastic. Sometimes it contradicts itself, but it is interesting how well it can tie together. Astrology, I'm saying. Everything is dynamic. So then we have Aries 3 celebrities, and in the book it says notables. And again, we have Ethel Kennedy, Charles Evans Hughes, Thomas Janowitz, Dennis Banks, Madeline O'Hare, Thomas Jefferson, Loretta Lynn, Sir John Gielgud, Bessie Smith, Leonardo da Vinci, Evelyn Ashford, Charlie Chaplin, that's one of my favorites, and, who doesn't love da Vinci, Isaac Dinesen, Nikita Khrushchev, Queen Frederica of Greece, and Thaddeus, I think it's pronounced Thaddeus, but it could be Taddis Mazowiecki. Wacky. If you know who that is, let me know in the comments. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will get more articulate and a little more organized as I go through the book. And again, if you want to join along or get a copy for yourself, it's a great, especially if you're just learning astrology and the personalities. I mean, this is one that I fundamentally go back to in my brain so much, even though it's so simple. You know, it's just 2 pages per birthday, 1 page per week. It just really gives a nice structure, and especially when you start going through all of them and, you know, seeing your friends and your family, it's a really great place to start if you really want to expand, you know, and really get to the details of each sign and each day and each decan or daikon week, basically is what that means. And even, you know, it lists the qualities, modalities, and so just kind of reading the different ones, it'll all start to click. But I'm sure some of you have seen this book before. So anyways, I thank you so much for joining along. Now I almost have this feeling like I have this book somewhere. I feel like I had a copy of it rolling around. I feel like someone gave it to me years ago. I have to go look in my astrology pile. Maybe they let me borrow it and then I gave it back because I think they had a bunch of birthdays written in here, and they were like, can I get the book back? Well, weird what comes back to you. Anyways, I'll be posting this on April 11th, but I do have to confess I shot it a day or 2 before because I'm going to be out partying and celebrating on April 11th. So, yeah, I think that's it. Do like and subscribe if you want to see when I come out with the next Celebrity Synastry video. And I promise I'm kind of doing this partially just to get back into the groove of it so I can get to you guys and get the big 144 series done, where we go over all 1,728 sun, moon, and rising combinations. You know, this is just giving you even more in depth by looking at it by each day, because, you know, an Aries born the same day as me could possibly have a different moon and a different rising sign than me on the same year, or even a different year the same day. And an Aries born a week after me could have all the same things, you know. So, well, that would be very rare. I do actually know of an example of that, but that's a whole nother video for a whole other time. All right, sending you lots of love, blessings, and light. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm getting loopy and tired, you guys.